the bulldozer Matt Tremont, the 8-time deathmatch tournament winner, the former 2-time world champion, the owner of H2O Wrestling. And if there is one podcast to listen to, that is the Deathmatch Russell podcast. Let's get ultraviolet, motherfuckers.
And good evening once again, fans. You're listening to the Deathmatch Russell podcast. They're more than welcome to come on too anytime they want to come on.
Oh man, the girls pop good like.
Alright. It's a budget thing. Let's see what he's up to.
Thank you, man, and thank you for giving me the time.
Tune in right now. And fans, at this time, my guest is the one and only Roma Miller. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good after we got those bugs cleared. You know, that Space Invader guy had him tweaked from that one day I had him on. I don't know.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. But anyway, how you doing tonight? Pretty good?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. How are you?
I'm not bad. Not bad.
Good.
I just had a good podcast with Draven Lee. He knows you, I guess.
That's a good friend of mine.
Yeah. He's he was pumped. He was pumped to be on the podcast. So, and I'm sure you are too as well.
Oh, definitely.
So let's get into it, man. What do you want to talk about? Everything and anything. You name it.
Everything, anything, wrestling, non-wrestling, whatever you got.
What do you got? What do you want to ask? Question. Throw something out there. Let the guest ask a question first. How's that?
Oh, I get to ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Oh, this is new. Okay.
All right. Let's play. Yeah, reverse the roles.
Okay.
How's that?
Oh. When did you take an interest in deathmatch wrestling?
Actually, through watching YouTube.
Okay. Who's your favorite deathmatch wrestler?
Has to be the one and only Madman Pondo.
He's new. Tell me about him.
He's old. He's a legend.
I need to know more about this guy. I'm new to the deathmatch scene.
You are. Well, Madman Pondo's from IWA Mid-South, original. Okay. And he's dabbled in for quite a long time, and he's actually a Hall of Famer.
Oh wow! Learn something new every day.
You do. But yeah, other than that, you know, other guys along the line of wrestlers are homeless Jimmy from XPW, and shout out to him. He crashed on my couch one time. Yeah. Can you hear me? Is this still working?
Word, okay.
But new to the scene, there's a lot of new guys dabbling into the scene now. And I want to give there's guys like AJ Gray. Did you freeze up?
You cut out on me a little bit, man. What'd you say?
I said the newer guys to the scene are like AJ Gray are stepping it up and stepping up to the scene now.
Hey, I'm getting some technical difficulties on my side.
Mm-hmm. We could just do an audio podcast if you want. I can cut this out really quick.
It's hard to make out what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do my old Facebook. I'll call you. How's that? I'll just use the phone. Fans, stay tuned. Hold on. Fans, we're going to do something different here, so stay tuned. All right, exit him out of here. He is out of the studio. Sorry, fans. We're going to do something different here for my podcast because you know what? We're having just a bad day with podcasts. Sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad. You know what? But life goes on, and we're gonna keep it going. How's that? And I don't know why my background's not showing because. Give me 1 second, fans, as I find something and do something. Take an intermission break. Bear with me 1 second, fans, as we do some technical difficulty. I just want to test something out here for audio. This holiday at T-Mobile, iPhone 12 with 5G is $1 for every single plan. Switch now and save 20% of your bill versus the other guy. All right, Vince. You know what? Where's those fucking cables at? Shit. Fans, bear with me 1 second. We're just getting audio technical difficulties fixed. Fuck. You know what? Cancel this fucking podcast for tonight.
Struck the hour, the day of judgment, God is calling. Underneath the war pigs crawling, begging mercies for the sin. Satan laughing spreads his wings. Oh Lord, yeah.
All right, fans, bear with me.
Hey, man.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you good now.
All right, cool. Let me, all right, now I got to see my. Uh-oh, what the hell did I do? I fucked it all up. Uh-oh. Well, that went blank, fans. All right, fans, we're back on my podcast. Sorry we had so much technical difficulties, but my guest this time, the one and only Roma Miller. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
Take two. This is take two. We're doing audio, so everybody can hear this now, which is a better thing. So, all right, what was I saying before? All right, let's reverse it. You give me a question. All right?
Yeah, I was asking you about death matches and how you became a fan of the death match.
Well, basically, as YouTube came around, videos, VHS were popular back in, I guess, when Blockbuster Video was around. And, my friends had videos that I would be able to grab off the shelf or get my hands on some bootleg DVDs somehow,
Right.
And so I, of course, growing up watching ECW, first was the experience to first catch the hardcore experience, of wrestling before it translated, of course it originated in Japan, deathmatch wrestling, which was the origin of how it came about, really, and brought it over. They came to the state, it came over from the States, and a lot of wrestlers have dabbled in it, and it's just now it's a new generation that are shown what they can do inside the ring, and for us fans, and bleed buckets and buckets of blood.
I attended my first death match show. I was on a singles match, but it was on a death match card, and I got to see it up close and personal. Those guys, something else. I take my hat off to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something to see in person, but I mean, really up close when I'm like sitting right in the front row, getting glass thrown at me, and covering my eyes, and shrapnel being flying everywhere, chairs being flying, you name it. Tacks, you come home with tacks at your feet, you don't even know it.
Dude, it's something else, man. Nothing like it.
No. I come home with a backpack full of glass, every time. But
it's definitely an experience.
It's an experience, and the funny thing is, whenever I go to a show, I usually get 2 tacks in my shoe. 2 tacks end up in my shoe. I don't know how it is. It's like an omen, It's like a curse or something,
Just 2 every time.
2. And I'll never forget the time I told a story, and it's funny as hell. I went to a Combat Zone Wrestling show, and I go to Starbucks right after the show, and I run out to I was at Starbucks after the show, and I get my money out of my pocket, and this tack drops on the floor, and it was in my pocket, right, and this father and his son and his wife were there behind, getting their order as well. And I'm like, oh, this is just a tack from a death match. Don't mind this. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's called blood. You got to go check it out. It's something that you would experience. You'd be like, holy shit. Yeah. So they were in shock to see that. Yeah. Said I'm used,
I can imagine.
But getting back to people that I influenced me watching, wrestler wise watching it was a legend, also from Japan as well. Odita, the one and only Odita from Japan, and and he's actually come to the U.S. to face a guy who just retired recently from the deathmatch scene. One Matt Tremont, the bulldozer of H2O. Shout out to him, big time. But he's still doing good things for the community, and he's still putting on shows at the H2O Hall, which is awesome. And we'll be back there pretty soon, again and again and again and again and again and again when summer hits, when it's better weather. But Madman Pondo, that was the voice that you probably heard on. I don't know if you heard it on the podcast at the very end. That was my guest. It was like one of the first people to dabble with on podcasting, actually, in the deathmatch world, which was really an experience.
Okay.
but I've got to see him wrestle, and he got awarded the Game Changer Wrestling. I'm affiliate. I like going. I'm a fan of wrestling, so Game Changer Wrestling. He got an award by the Deathmatch Hall of Fame, along with Matt Tremont got the award too, and Danny Havoc, of course, the one and only. Shout out to him. We miss him, but yeah, it's an honor that he's inducted.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just taking a break for wrestling right now. Of course, yeah, I mean, we're all taking it. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm watching what I can on TV, Fight TV, and this and that. I'm just taking a little break for a while till things clear up, you know, and it's good to be back on the road again and travel to shows.
Definitely, man.
But
right. It's still going down here in Alabama, Georgia.
Yes,
area.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is. And, like I said, Game Changer just, I would have loved to go to the show they had, and I was ready to fly to Vegas, but they canceled that show. But they'll be in the secluded location of the GCW arena. I won't say where it is, and I know exactly where it is, but I'm not going to tell everybody. In New Jersey somewhere, maybe, who knows? But they were supposed to have that, and I was going to go to New York, New Year's Bash, New Year's Eve, 2-show weekend. I guess a double header. And I was like, you know what? There's going to be a whole bunch of drunks out in Atlantic City. I'm not going to deal with everybody. You know what I mean? Just be home and watch it on TV.
Yeah, you made the right decision.
Yeah, when that's only like 30 minutes away from me. You know what
I mean? Right.
For the travel. But what are you up to, man? Like, I'm hearing good things about you from our good friend, a friend of ours, David, you know, the other David from Boot and Heel.
Right. He's a good guy, man.
He is a great person all around.
He is. David, I met him through Boot and Heel. I got some merch from him, and ever since I reached out to him about merchandise, things been looking up for me. He's got me booked at a GIPW show. He's mentioned my name all around the area. So shout out to David for hooking me up with a lot of good opportunities.
Yeah, and getting you on this podcast too. You know, he's like, oh, let me get this guy on your podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Good
opportunities. And you know what? Tell your friends to come on here too. They're more than welcome. Anybody you know, they're all welcome to come.
Okay. Good guys are named David.
Or anybody. Not named David, but you know. I don't think I've had a lot of Davids on my. No, actually, I did have one old a veteran of the ring. His name was Dr. D. David Schultz was on my podcast. I will remember that.
Okay.
Legend of the game. Legend of wrestling. Yes, you know.
That's impressive.
That really is. That's impressive. And you know, let me ask you this: growing up as a fan of wrestling, as a person, what was it like for you? Growing up, watching.
Growing up, what was my?
Growing up, what? I said,
cut out on me a little bit.
Sorry, I said, what was it like growing up watching wrestling for you?
Oh, it was awesome. I grew up in the best time. I got to see Sting transform from the neon blonde flat top into the Crow Sting. I got to see the formation of the NWO. I got to see the real DX. I got to live the whole Attitude Era. I grew up in the best time to be a wrestling fan.
What was your first event going to as a fan?
My very first wrestling event, man, it was at home. It was a local indie show. It was at the county fairgrounds. I was like 8 or 9 years old. Bullet Bob Armstrong.
Right.
Was the name on the card that night.
Right.
I had no idea who Bullet Bob was at the time.
Yeah.
So I'm 8 years old going to see wrestling, and I'm amazed. Because I saw the guys on TV, but now I'm seeing it live. I'm hearing how the ring actually sounds. I'm feeling the energy of the crowd. It's amazing. From that night forward, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a wrestler. But at the end of the night, I got to take a picture with Bullet Bob.
Ooh, there you go.
And that even more confirmed it for me. So my first event was at a local show that Bullet Bob was the name, and that did it for me.
And then after that, you got hooked on wrestling, and you wanted to go to WWF shows and East WCW shows, I'm sure, or SummerSlams or pay-per-views.
Any show I could find.
Mm-hmm. Have you been to any pay-per-views?
I have not been on pay-per-view yet. I've been to house shows.
Right.
I've been to Raw and SmackDown. I went to a Nitro once,
mm-hmm.
but I've never been to a pay-per-view.
Really? Wow.
I need to go to one. That's on my bucket list.
Do it, man. It's fun. It's a fun experience. I mean, I could say I've been to, let's see, how many have I been to, and how many as a kid growing up, I actually was on WrestleMania 5. How's that?
Oh, wow.
So I always tell a story of how me and my old man were sitting up in the nosebleeds, and right next to me was the commentating team of Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse the Body. And I had my Mega Powers poster ready to explode, and I could hear the thump of the ring down below. My God, what an experience that was, as a kid. Just
I can't imagine. That sounds amazing.
It is to hear the sound of the crowd, the thump of the ring. I don't know if I was on tape or not. Probably like a little glimpse of me, you know what I mean? Like a little corner of the sign, but But I have been seen on pay-per-views and other Raw pay-per-views, as I always talk about. And like I've been on SmackDown. I've been on not a SmackDown. What do you call it? SummerSlam.
Oh, cool.
I did SummerSlam the year that Triple H was doing his rehabilitation for his knee, and he made his appearance back out. I think Carlito was doing the Carlito, what do you call it? His stupid little gimmick, the Cabana show or something,
Yeah, I remember that.
And I'm sitting in I'm sitting in like the 200 section, and they're panning the crowd. Well, during the Rey Mysterio match, there I am on camera with my sister.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I've been to a couple of house shows. Mm-hmm. I've actually seen a house show with John Cena versus Jericho inside a steel cage.
Oh, wow.
And let's see, I have been to ECW's One Night Stand 2 in New York City. I was actually 6th row behind Joey Styles and Taz while they were on commentary when as Taz slapped, or no, Joey's Jerry the King Lawler came out and slapped Joey Styles against the backdrop, and I started a Nacho Libre chant for because come out to the curtain was Super Crazy and Tajiri, so they were facing the FBI at the time, so I was like, all right, this is awesome. And of course, Balls Mahoney. A big fan of his, and actually a friend of his as well, growing up. But yeah, an experience like that was, but my favorite, has to be moment was, and I still have it to this day. I have it on DVD. I was at New York City, WWF Sunday Night Heat. Yes, from the restaurant in New York City at Christmas time when they had a restaurant. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize it was going to be taped. My sister bought and surprised me for Christmas, and we went in there for something to eat, and they said, "Oh, we're going to be taping tonight." I'm like, "What? Live?" I didn't realize it was a taping, and so I'm standing behind. Actually, I got right behind Michael Cole and Taz again. And that was like a real experience to be behind Taz. And as the cameras were rolling, the night was going on. It was Chuck Colombo in the ring. It was actually the angle really also was Chuck Colombo, but I forget who it was. It was Christian, or it was Edge versus Taz angle going on. Also, and Christian was in the building as well, and Edge were at the on stage at the center too, at the New York store and restaurant. And one scene, they cut to to the videos as they always do on their video screen, and it was Stone Cold versus Booker T in the supermarket match.
I remember that.
And so towards the end of that, when they go to check out, my coming of my humorous side of me, and you know what? As he's checking them out, paper or plastic? I had to say paper or plastic. You know what he bagged? So I heard that. But what was really cool was me and Taz were talking to Ric Flair chants. We were calling out Taz was calling out moves during the match, one of the matches, and Ric Flair we were just mentioning because I think it was like they were in North Charlotte, and at the time, and and we're like, who's the master of, Taz is like, who's the master of figure four, Ric Flair. We would go woo, and I and I'm so excited. It's like I didn't realize I was on TV. You know what I mean? And I call home. I call my house. Mom, I'm going to be on TV tonight. Better record this. Well, she recorded it and put it on VHS, and then I had it remastered to DVD.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. For an experience to be on, not being known, And
you can say you're famous now.
I could be famous in a couple things, man. I've been seen in like 10, 15, 5 minutes in The Wrestler too, as well. Okay, how's that?
Oh,
the movie The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. How's that? I was part of the crowd in Rahway, New Jersey, and sitting right there. You can see me standing. I go outside to have a cigarette, not even looking, and it's Mickey Rourke. I could have took my picture, but I didn't. He walked right past me.
Oh man, why didn't you ask for a picture?
Who knows? I didn't think of him at the time. I didn't know what I was going to say. Hey, and then they announced, "Oh, we're going to be filming him." And then the lights go down, the dark. Cameras. We're seeing all these cameras. Like, what's going on here? We weren't expecting this. We weren't expecting like a filming of a movie, which was really cool. Cool experience to see all the cameras rolling around and running around. But to look,
I got a chance to be on a movie. Glacier was actually in it. It was shot at the the Nightmare Factory. Glacier, David Wills, Stan, Ernest the Cat Miller. A lot of guys were in this movie. I got to be an extra in the crowd for the movie's called The Replaceables, I believe.
I'll have to check that out.
So be on the lookout for The Replaceables whenever it comes up.
Oh, it's not out yet. All right, maybe there's trailers. Who knows? I'll keep my eye. Just shoot me a message when it comes out.
Definitely. I'll definitely do that. Glacier was one of my childhood heroes too. Watching him.
Yes.
When I was watching WCW, I was a big WCW fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I was maybe 9, 10, 11 when the Attitude Era was going on.
Right.
So I wasn't quite grasping the adult stuff going on in WWE at the time.
Mm-hmm.
WWF at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was seeing my Mortal Kombat characters coming to life in WCW. So, this is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I became a Glacier fan. I liked Sting when he was right before he turned into the Crow. I liked him then too. But I was just always a big fan of those larger-than-life personalities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you know what? They come to life and it's like, wow, right? Like these are it's like The Rock, like The Rock.
Right.
Put him as a superhero kind of character, and but making big bucks nowadays,
Man, making huge bucks.
Yeah, even on a float too, right? I saw that. I'm like, oh god, there goes the Rock float meme going on online. I'm like, great. Here his float's generating again.
I mean, what can he do? He's done it all.
He has.
He's done it all.
I mean, he's had the career of look at his career of wrestling, man. Like we can look back and like, wow, he really did a lot of wrestling that was like unreal, and really the storylines that he would tell and the way that he would wrestle and, perform.
Yeah, his character basically sold itself.
Absolutely.
He took a move as simple as an elbow drop.
I know.
It's the biggest move in the world.
And then millions of people do it over and over and over now, which is funny, like people just like to gimmick their characters,
Yeah.
But
I guess that's the mark of a great wrestler. You take something as simple as a leg drop like Hogan did, an elbow drop like The Rock, just put a spin on it, make it your own. That's when you know you made it, when you can do something that simple and get over.
Or even doing Mick Foley drop off the apron, Come on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. Mick Foley is a class of his own.
Yeah, and people always say, hey, he's that crazy guy. Yeah, well, he's done it. And I've asked the question. I remember going to a Q&A question in Pennsylvania for like a wrestle reunion kind of show. And you know what? I asked the question, hey, Mick, I got on the mic. I actually got on the mic. Bill Apter was there, PW1 or A1 or whatever, Bill Apter, the famous guy, wrestling guy. And you know what? I got on the mic. I didn't know what to think of. And here I'm thinking WrestleMania is coming up, right? Hey, Mick, what was it like falling off? Were you scared coming off the cage? Yes, he was. He told me he was scared. Yeah. And to hear that versus the Taker, like, my gosh, like that's a historical moment, and it was for Taker and Mick Foley.
That's one of the most iconic moments in the history of wrestling.
Yeah. Because, the way that it was projected and done, and my God, I'm going to have to watch that later tonight. Ooh, it's just something to watch.
Like, I don't know if Undertaker thought he hurt him or what, but the look on his face was like, oh man, I think I just killed Mick Foley.
Mm-hmm. And then my friends were like, hey, I've met Foley so many times and he's a real nice person. And everybody's like, hey, David, can you do his voice? You got to ask me, hey, David, can you do his voice? Hey.
Can you do his voice?
Let me see. Well, Mr. Sacco is right here. I like to fall off of high places. My mom takes care of me sometimes. I like pain. Have a nice day. Bang, bang, mommy. There you go. How's that?
That was it.
That's it. That's it, and just he got a kick out of it when I did it too. I told, hey, Mick, watch this. I wish I recorded at the time, like, but you like, oh, sorry, I gotta charge you for this, kid. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, these people have. It's like the cameo, right? Look at these cameo, $1,000 for a cameo. Come on, Undertaker, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? But
it's 45 seconds, man. Come on.
45 seconds, yes. 45 seconds of fame. Come on. What are you gonna do? Cheat me out of that? Shit. I won't pay for that.
Well, what's with Vince saying these guys can't make any money off Cameo and Twitch anymore? What's going on with that, man?
I don't know. Maybe we could get them on TikTok. I don't know. Right? Get them 1,000 views, likes, and get on there, right? Get me live. But I'm not live yet. Shit, damn you, Vince. Right? Exactly.
Right.
You always tell your friends, oh, we're going to get so many likes. I want to get all these likes. Come on. I want to get to that 100 mark, 1,000 mark, and get that live. One of these days.
Social media has played a huge part in the wrestling game.
It has, man. It has. Now I'm seeing they're adding audio to Twitter now. Like, what is this? What is this? Like record your voice for like 10 minutes. Have a conversation.
Right.
But, and then, be like, David, yeah, you look back and you think like when I said Macho Man. Yeah, David, do your Macho Man. Yeah, all right, why not? Well, let me tell you something, man. Snap in with Slim Jim. Yeah, dig it. The cream of the crop. I rise to the top, elbow dropper. Yeah, stuff like that. Thank you, fans.
You got any more?
That's it. That's only two. That's my only two good wrestling ones. That's it.
Yeah, those are good.
Those are
two of the best I've heard.
They really are. I mean, I don't charge so. Right, for voiceovers, you could pay me $300. I'll do your voice. Shit, but that would be kind of a trip, right? But let's get back into talking about how David was in Boot and Heel got you involved, or how he and you became good friends. Also, as we were
okay, well, like I said, I had heard about Boot and Heel. I've been seeing it a lot.
Yeah.
Me and AJ Daniels have had a couple matches together.
Yes.
Mr. Zero Gravity.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a few matches. I've seen him in a couple locker rooms. So I asked him one day, I said, hey, man, what's this Boot and Heel all about?
Mm-hmm.
And he told me they got in contact. So I reached out to David and told him I was interested in Boot and Heel and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So he put me up on his website. From that point on, I got some merch from him. Merch has been moving, man. Boot and Heel is.
Yeah.
If you want to get some merchandise done, go to them.
That's where we're at, man. That's what we support, our product, and I can't wait till we wearing one. David still needs to ship one out to me. It's almost Christmas time, Dave.
Right. Yeah, quality work, fast turnaround.
Yeah.
Like I said, my shirts have been moving fast. I'm ready to re-up again. I know you hear me, David. But
yeah.
Through that, and from merchandise to getting bookings to just being an all-around good guy,
mm-hmm.
David and I have linked up. He's a guy you definitely want in your corner.
Yeah, he's good things coming on, and I know we're gonna be we're gonna be good, and Roma, we're gonna be friends till the end. You know that. This is
definitely.
This is what I was telling a whole bunch of the wrestlers, and then every time we talk on a podcast, we're friends till the end, and which is a cool experience. You know what I mean? Like, because we all are like a brotherhood. Wrestling, we're family. Which is cool.
Yeah, wrestling really is like a family. It's something. It's a brotherhood you don't experience anywhere else.
No. It is. I mean, because if you need something happens, we're there for you. People are there for you, which is what it's all about. Wrestling is.
That's true.
It is. It's like a reality. We have our real life. We have, and you look now and. Things come down the line. A car breaks down. You know how that goes with the wrestling industry. Somebody's always, and that's you miss a flight and you have to get somewhere, and friends take care of you.
Need a place to stay when you're in town.
Absolutely.
All of that.
Oh, absolutely. Before we got cut off with the podcast, I was saying I've actually had a couple legends, I had a deathmatch legend stay on my couch from XPW.
Really?
Yes. When Game Changer Wrestling did a show, I got the call to be the summertime host. So I hosted a homeless Jimmy. And I hosted a young Cole Radrick, a young Sage Phillips, a Reed Bentley, and John Wayne Murdoch.
Wow. Okay. Now, homeless Jimmy is a name I've heard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's out of California. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And these other names, I'm sure you heard on the scene. They're popular. Cole Roderick and the Rejects, Reed and John Wayne Murdoch.
Yeah, I've heard those names too.
Mm-hmm. Great guys, all great guys, but they're doing things that they're doing the death match thing as much as we give them support, which is awesome. And they're doing it, and they're killing the game. John is on the rated. He's on one of the top rated reviews right now for deathmatch wrestlers, and it's just an honor for him. You know what I mean? It's But besides that, what other wrestling companies catch your eye these days?
Oh man, what catches my eye these days? I've been looking at a lot of independent stuff. Of course, the home team, Pro South Wrestling in Piedmont, Alabama. KLT Promotions out in Rome, Georgia. Up and coming promotion, man, that everybody should be looking at. Titan Wrestling out of Lincoln, North Carolina. Those are 3 to watch for. But Kapow Wrestling is one they catch my if we're talking major wrestling though.
Game Changer Wrestling.
WWE mark.
Oh, really? Game Changer Wrestling, GCW. I'm sure you've heard it. You know.
I have. I can pay closer attention, but I have heard about it.
Pay attention. It's on Fight TV all the time. IWTV, man. You're missing the train. You're like, I'm sure you've heard the names. Calvin Tankman, and
okay, well, yeah, I'll definitely check them out.
Calvin Tankman. You've probably heard of Leo Rush. You've probably heard of.
I have definitely heard those names.
Blake Christian. There's so many names that can go on. Lee Marinari. Hell of a wrestler, you know. He's the future. You probably could tangle with him. I'm sure it would be awesome. Just plenty of people on the. One guy who's particular, and he's had his second appearance, and I think it's going to be the third pretty soon on AEW Dark. KTB, the Beast from the Woods.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I've seen that guy.
And also a promotion down by me. It's a local promotion. What's by me, and you might be interested in. I might have to talk to a couple people. It's called Titan Championship Wrestling, and we have had Brian Cage. We've had Ace Austin. We bring in top talent from who's you see on AEW. We've actually had Gipke on there, Steven Gipke, as well. We've had. The young Casey Navarro has appeared on AEW as well, KTB. The list goes on, and a lot of awesome talent comes through.
Okay, well, yeah, definitely.
And
people.
Yeah, because you know what, you want to be seen on the East Coast. I'm sure you would love it. You know, I mean, definitely. It's a family friendly. You know what I mean? We get right into it and. We bring the legends in too, you know. They bring the legends. It's just fun, just all around good wrestling, and it's going to be the next thing. Wait till 2021. We got bigger things coming. Actually, be on.
It's called Titan Championship Wrestling.
Yes, Titan Championship Wrestling. Be on the lookout for something.
I'll be looking
up. Be on the lookout for something coming. Probably after right around Christmas, because I'm going to be on a podcast bundle or a forum. With a bunch of them.
Okay. Keep my eyes open. I'll be looking for that.
But yeah, we've actually also it's called. Well, of course, they also had they had the female division as well, and a lot of them were actually just featured on AEW Dark as well. We had Lady Frost was just there. We had also Charlie Cruel was part of our show, but she had a scary experience. But we've had a young Russian who actually I've known so well through the Combat Zone Wrestling. Her name is Layla Hirsch. She had an opportunity on AEW Dark as well. Is that awesome?
That's pretty awesome.
It really is, man. Like, it's the stepping stone of wrestling. Like, these guys, you could be called up anytime. You know what I mean? You never know.
That's my favorite thing about AEW, how they're giving the indie guys such a big platform to perform on.
All right, Ted, as you're a wrestler, who do you like? Let's talk AEW. I'm a love AEW. I love the product.
Okay, who do I like AEW? See, a lot of my AEW guys, I liked them before AEW. I liked Kenny Omega back in Japan.
Ooh, I've seen Kenny before he was Japan Day one time. I saw him face one Danny D'Amonto. Okay, there you go. I got to see him live in person. You know.
Fun fact. Okay. Yeah, I liked Kenny before the AEW days. I liked.
But you know what? Shout out to Kenny for getting that gaming going now, like look at that. That looks pretty like real. It's going to be a kick-ass game, even though I don't play a lot of games like I used to, But I definitely would.
That'll be the one to play.
That would be the one,
Yeah, I was a big fan of Pentagon Jr. back in AAA and CMLL. I like this stuff on Lucha Underground too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who else did I like, man? I heard the name Orange Cassidy floating around.
Freshly.
Who is this Orange Cassidy?
You don't know
so
who?
I looked him up on YouTube, and I found out. I saw some of his ultras of him versus Swaggle, him versus Colt Cabana. I was like, this dude is awesome. I realized he was part of the ant colony from Shikara.
Yes, he was, and also.
Yeah, I didn't know that until recently.
Mm-hmm. And also, if you look, and I never knew it, but oh gosh, his name is Lucky 13. He goes by his name's Lucky 13 from CZW, and he actually tagged with Orange Cassidy.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So that's a little history, like a little tag he had with him. Yeah, actually in Kachara as well.
Sweet. Okay.
Kachara's
all my favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite guy from AEW. It's got to be Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
If Jericho's not the greatest of all time, he's definitely on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And of course, you Ortiz and the other guy,
Was it Santana and Ortiz?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. I like those guys.
Mm-hmm. Private Party. There's so many tag teams I could name that are just like they made a good name for themselves. There's so many wrestlers have Kingston. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm really happy for him.
Yeah. It was time for him, man. I saw him at a young. I'll tell you what. I saw him when he was the King of Diamonds, man. I got to see him wrestle early on, like as the King of Diamonds. And my God, like the attitude change. Yeah, big time. It was like a roller coaster for him, but he deserved where he is now. And even playing.
It's crazy seeing the guys when you see them at the beginning, and then when they finally do make it.
Yep,
it's crazy to see.
It is. It's like put it this way, Joey Janela. Okay.
Yeah.
Joey Janela asked me about me, as a fan of wrestling. I actually saw him when he wrestled at 16 years old. Like insane. Isn't that awesome? Like I've seen his career grow, just from back.
Joey Janela might be the most interesting man in wrestling.
But you know what? He's the most talked about wrestler on Twitter, and he's got his own. It's everything, man. He's got it. He does it all. He's
like I said, the most interesting man out there. I mean, say what you want about him. He's got your attention.
He's a character. He's a great friend, good person, all around funny person. Just like Colt Cabana always is. Good times, great memories.
I can imagine.
Yeah. How about guys like Marco Stunt?
I like Marco Stunt. I'm happy to see a smaller guy make it as far as he has in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
You normally don't see little guys go far unless they're job guys.
No, and you know what? I'll never forget that moment when I was in New York City for the Lost in New York for Game Changer Wrestling. There he goes out of the crowd. This little guy running into the ring, getting his versus KTB. My gosh, look at that, Small town guy from, IWA Mid-South and all the local promotions, man. And you know what? He got noticed. And the way that he should have gone out, and got it. And now,
in fact, the very first booking I ever had was at a place called EPW. I think it was Empire Pro Wrestling in Boonville, Mississippi. Middle of nowhere.
Right.
But I walk in, shake everybody's hand, introduce myself, and one wrestler, he was the veteran in the locker room. He was the head trainer there too. His name was Motley. I forget his first name. But anyway, he was telling me his credentials and who he was and all the people he'd been around. He told me he trained Marco Stunt.
Huh.
That's pretty impressive.
That's neat. That's awesome. You know what? I've had all of them on my podcast, even the father. I've never remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually, if you get bored one night, I'll send you or you can look it up. Just type in Deathmatch Russell, Marco stunt, Papa stunt, the other son. He screwed up a little bit, but we don't want to talk about his name anymore.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, Logan stunt. Yeah, Logan, of course. But he did the old stupid stunt and whatever. Something happened and he's nowhere to be seen.
I
I know.
happens sometimes.
It happens in the world of wrestling. What do you expect? But but yeah, just see the careers, man. Just go from that, just to breaking the wall, just breaking the door and just to give it a shot,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that you want that opportunity as well, and it's gonna happen.
Oh, definitely.
The dream,
Definitely.
the doors are wide open for the voices to be heard, and you never know.
Being completely honest, I really like the indies.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Because you know why? Indies where it's at, and people don't realize it's wrestling, man. It's what we love, like really. There's talent that's could be used, yes, on TV, but no, they'd rather stick with indie wrestling, and there's a lot of wrestlers that can go by that.
I see a lot of guys that have made it to the top.
Mm-hmm.
And they come back and they make their money on the indie scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you know what? It's as I always tell people, all wrestlers.
Like I've seen guys.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I always tell people, and I'm sure you agree with, it's not about the money. It's just about the impressing the fans. And
that's it. That is it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I agree 100%.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it is. You're doing your job. Yeah. And you know what? We're paying for you to do your job, to watch you wrestle. And, I always say thank you guys to doing it, because if it wasn't for wrestling, where would us fans be, right? Really?
Right.
What would we be doing? We would be shelling our $20 for a ticket and go watch a movie at the movie theater, or go to a park or this and that, or go to the local golf range, or doing this and that, or what I mean, like theme parks, this and that, and the works. What we always work hard for. Growing up as hey, Dad, can I have a couple bucks so I can go watch the new Batman movie, or go to the amusement park with my friends tonight? Yeah. Well, you know what? There's something I want to do this weekend. Also, besides that, I want to stop this. I'm going to go see some wrestling. What? You want to see some wrestling? And that's really, you think about it. We get hooked on something where it's in our blood.
It is. Like I said, my mom was cleaning up her house. I think last week or this week or sometime. Mm. But she found one of my old journals from first, second grade. I was just learning to spell.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, it was asking what I wanted to be when I grew up. Mm-hmm. I said a wrestler.
No.
So like you said, once it's in us, it's in us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really, all I've ever wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? If it's in the blood, do it, man. I mean, my God, I was reading an article, which my mom grew up at. My mom's from Colorado, right? And I still have the story here. It says Dusty Rhodes wrestled in her town, and he was drinking at the time. Yeah, at a bar.
Man,
like,
could you imagine walking in a bar and just seeing Dusty Rhodes sitting there?
Yeah. Hey, baby, what do you want? Let me get a cold beer. I don't know, whatever he would say. Flipping and sliding. I'll be flipping and sliding all over this bar. Give me a wet whiskey. I don't know. There's my flair. There's my.
You said you only had 2 impressions. That was pretty good.
That was Dusty Rhodes, right? Dusty Rhodes, dude.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, just remember he was a garbage man too, like me. for a quick promo, right? He was a WWE promo for that. I mean, he did do that. And I remember that picture of him on the back of the garbage truck because I signed up for that subscription at the time, and I still have that autographed picture somewhere in my collection. Like, you know what I mean? Like the first WWF subscription when they had it, you know, when that was popular.
Yeah, man.
All the gimmicks were popular back then. Now you got to order like $100,000 worth of supplies of wrestling. You know, I mean, the next figure you want to get, or the next this and that, but I do want to get the Joey. They just released the Joey Janela figure, which is really cool on the what the heck site is it called? One of the collector sites. Really cool.
Oh,
I know.
Joey Janela action figure? Okay.
Joey Janela. And yeah, the what is it? I forget he's got so many companies out there. But I still don't have the AEW figures still. I don't have those yet. I gotta get those. So anybody on my Christmas wish want to support the Deathmatch Wrestling, buy a little something, give me some couple AEW figures. Shout out. Right? That's it.
Right.
Get me the.
I can use a few of them myself.
Huh?
I can use some myself.
I know. So let's plug, right? Let's get hey, Jericho, are you listening? What? No. Hook us up, Jericho. Right? Shout out. Jericho, get us some of that bubbly. Come on. We want a bottle of your bubbly too, all right? I know that's limited.
That's something I do want.
I
do want a bottle of bubbly.
The limited supply. I don't know if it's still available. It probably is. I'm sure before New Year's, do it now. I would probably buy it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, to get Joey's figures, you'd be like, holy shit, this thing is legit. What company is that? That's gonna piss me off now. You know what? I'm gonna look on his social media and find it for you. Got it right here. That is Ringstar Figures. What is this? Yeah, just get him. Oh, the Figures Toy Company. What's that?
I'm on it.
You're on it right now? Oh.
No, I will be soon.
I should I probably could I probably could just steal it right now. Hold on. I got it. Yes, got it right here. Here, I'll link it to you.
Okay, do that.
I'll link it right to. It should go right here. Go to Messenger. Let's see. Yeah, there you are. Let's see. Ding.
There it is.
There it is. Look at that figure.
Thanks, man.
Look at that figure. You're gonna have to look at it now. While you're on the phone, look at it. The character. It looks so realistic. It's unbelievable.
Let me do that right now.
Huh? Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, they got a Scott.
Oh, wow.
They got a Scott Norton.
It comes with the barbed wire, the table, and all that. Okay.
Does it? Okay. All right.
That's awesome.
That really does look. That looks like him. Really, they did a good job. They did a
great job.
So fans, check this out. Buy yourself. That price is pretty damn good too. If you look go look at the list. It's really. Oh, they did a. Who is this? Who's this guy? Is that Rich Swan? No. Who's this? I have no clue who this guy is. Oh, they did a Russo. Really? That looks like God, I can't even. Who the hell is that? That's not. I mean, I saw Scott Norton. Who the hell is that other one? Is that? Oh, I can't think of his name. FTC. No. Aha! You know who that is?
Who is that?
That's Swerve. That's the Swerve.
Oh!
Yeah, Shane Strickland figure they made. That is awesome. That's legit.
Cool, okay.
Right? Yeah. I try to figure out who's that. There's a guy who used to, man, talk about like independent stars right there, man. There's a guy who's, his career, man, as well,
Yes.
I mean, really, to define like shit, like a style of wrestling, of lucha style. Well, I don't know. I guess an American style lucha. I don't know what they call it nowadays, but whatever style it is, my God, he can throw it all around, man.
He's good. He is good.
He is. He is. And I totally forgot that. I totally forgot it. You don't even pay attention when you see NXT next to it. You know what I mean? I don't pay attention to the WWE product as I used to, But I will give a shout out to my friends who actually just got contracted signing for them. Shout out to the one and only, the Chainsaw himself, Joe Gacy, and another guy. He's a little bit green, a little bit Anthony Greeny. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Anthony Green. Hey, shout out to a guy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call us friends. We've met once or twice. Shout out to Leon Ruff on winning the North American title.
You know what? I heard of that name. Leon Ruff. Shout out to him.
He did a show in my hometown maybe 2 years ago. It's called New Level Pro in Anderson, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And he was fighting Danny Jordan that night.
Mm-hmm.
And now you see Danny Jordan doing her thing with AEW.
Mm-hmm.
He's the North American champion NXT.
Mm-hmm.
So us indie guys, they're inspiration. If they can do it, we can too.
Yeah, I'm sure he's taking on the one and only Bask in the Glory, Keith Lee. Look at there's a name. There's a name that people don't realize. He was independent, man. He really made a name for himself. He got out on the scene with Beyond Wrestling. Was a big shout out to Beyond Wrestling. There's an indie promotion that really took a lot of wrestlers and made them, where they are today as well.
Yeah.
I'm sure you heard of Beyond Wrestling as well. I was going to say that's another promotion. They
a lot of guys.
Huh? Yeah. I was supposed to go to what is it? They bailed out. They were supposed to have a show and for Corona and they canceled the show. I was like, oh man, I would have loved to see it then. But I did get to see Keith Lee wrestle KTB.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And
that was a good match.
It was a good match because it's on Fight TV or it's on IWTV. Sponsor us, people, would you? Okay. I need to get plugged with this. Sponsor us. Right? Sponsor us. We need that. That'd be a nice little logo to add to my collection.
True.
But no, to see, early, young Keith Lee, like early, no, not young, but you know what I mean? Just to see him get his shot. And my God, it's like, you look back in wrestlers, like indie pro wrestlers, you look at guys like, Drew Gulak. There you go, from Combat Zone Wrestling, And Joe Gacy, also Combat Zone Wrestling, game changer. These guys have been around. They're the veterans of the business, and they're going to step it up now. And they get.
Didn't John Moxley get his start at CZW too?
Yes, he did. John Moxley. That's where he got his first start, and my gosh, he came a long way from what he was from the Mid-South days, the IWA Mid-South days of wrestling, Combat Zone Wrestling, to going all over the world in Japan. He got his dreams, and look where he is today, man. He actually, shout out to him also. He was just on that collective for that that big. You heard about the collective. That was a huge weekend of shows, as well, and he was part of that for the Bloodsport. My God.
Yeah.
I wish I was there for that. That would have been kind of awesome to see.
You and me both. I would have loved to be there.
Mm-hmm. But man, where do you see yourself going if you got it, the opportunity, man? If it came to you,
opportunity. Oh man, if I had the opportunity. Me being a smaller wrestler, I know Vince doesn't really care for little guys that much. it is what it is. There are a few of us that make it in, but not many. So if I could kind of chart my destiny, I would like to be an indie darling, like just known on the indie scene, and maybe at some point or another do some work with ROH or Impact.
Impact. Well, isn't Impact closed? I thought.
Is Impact closed?
Didn't they just say they're closing the doors on Impact? I don't know. Maybe.
I haven't heard.
Yeah, maybe they did. I don't know. I could be wrong. I mean, I heard Impact has shut its doors or something. I don't know. Maybe it's true. Who knows? We'll see. Go on the internet. Maybe I'm lying. I don't know. It's beyond one of those.
It's worth looking into, though.
It is. I don't think it. I know that they did a couple more shows, or I don't know what they have now. Maybe they still do it. I don't know. I thought they ran out of money. Who knows?
I know they've been doing those Impact Plus tapings like all around Georgia and stuff.
Oh, okay. Okay, so they're still around then. All right, never mind. Maybe I was mishearing something that I saw on the news or I heard from a friend. You know how that goes.
You heard from somebody else?
Huh?
You heard from somebody that heard from somebody?
Yeah.
Latin wrestling.
Exactly. We know how it is. Thanks to my friend. Thanks, buddy. Put you in the back of the line. You didn't make the list today.
I want to make the list. I do, just to say I have.
All right. You made the list. There you go.
There we go.
Signed it. I just signed it. Oh, wait. Actually, David, did you sign it? Yeah. He's probably like, what are you talking about, guys? Boot and heel business, buddy. Boot and heel business. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. Boot and heel.
It is. Man, what's your... I had asked this to Draven before. What's the worst experience with the fan heckling you or what? Kind of annoying grandma, this and that, or something that's just really got you irritated at a show?
I'm glad you asked that question. It happened to me Thanksgiving night. No? Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, I take it back. It was Thanksgiving night. It was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I run together sometimes.
Yeah.
It was 2 days ago, Thanksgiving. I was at a show in Rome, Georgia. KLT Promotions.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this one fan. She's passionate, man. God bless her. She is passionate.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a fan of mine. She comes to me every show, comes to my merch table and asks for a free shirt. And I try my best to explain to her in the nicest way that I can't give her nothing for free, but I'll make sure to save something for her when she has the money to get it.
Right.
And she was eating a Butterfinger at the same time she was telling me. But she was eating the Butterfinger, she was spitting, and still asking for a free shirt. She just could not understand that I can't give it to her for free. And she was persistent.
Wow, man. That's like, wow, man. That's like,
how do you keep your fan but explain, hey, nothing comes free?
Nothing comes free from you guys. No, you work for it.
Yeah, I can't give my shirts away.
Can't. You know how many people ask me that, as a podcaster. I'm like, no, right. Man, it's money in our pockets. It's money in our pockets.
Yeah, I need all mine. Just like you need all yours.
Yeah, I don't need it all, but I mean, I'm a garbage man. That's, this is fun money. This is podcast money, hey. It's just a hobby money. It's just a hobby, Podcasting is a hobby. Podcasting and wrestling is it's my getaway, Yeah, it's our getaway.
I understand that. It's definitely a getaway.
It is. It really is. But worst injury yet ever in your career?
I broke my nose.
You broke your nose.
Very first battle royal.
Oof.
I was wrestling under a hood at the time.
Uh-huh.
I was the Yellow Viper. That's what my character was.
Right.
The Yellow Viper. Anyway, I came in to do my job. In this battle royal. I was one of the first ones in, first ones eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
So, I get in the ring. This huge guy. He's about 400 pounds. His name's Omega.
Mm-hmm.
I get in the ring. He gorilla presses me over his head. And he tosses me over the top rope to eliminate me. And the guy outside the ring didn't catch me.
Mm-hmm.
So my bridge of my nose bounced off of the guardrail.
Mm-hmm.
Broke my nose, gave me a concussion, all that good stuff.
Oh man. Wow. Can imagine that. Oh. You know.
It didn't feel good.
No, I'm sure it didn't. I'm sure it didn't, man. And, you know, you're blessed that you're alive, and that's it. You know, that's it. You know,
it was worth it. It was worth it. I heard Just Incredible say one time, if you get into wrestling, you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah, Just Incredible's not that incredible anymore. It's not like he used to be, but you know,
I haven't seen him recently.
He looks like I can't say it. I can't say the word, but I do have the. I do have.
I want to see him recently?
No.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I could send you something. I can slide you something. Nah, you could see what he looks like. I wanted to say hello to him, but
I'm tempted to see it.
Huh?
I'm tempted to see it now.
It's a vid. It's a video from our last show we did. I don't want to get yelled at, though.
Okay.
Maybe I won't show it. All right, how's that? You probably can see it on the internet. I probably can find it. If it's out there.
Okay.
Nothing bad.
If it's out there.
If it's out there. There's so many stuff out there I can't even think about. I just saw a video of me tossing Joey Janela, surf crowd, and PCO tosses him over the rail.
Oh, wow.
The Quebecer, you know? Gosh, there's a guy who's been in the business, my gosh, wrestling for so long, and he's doing this thing at Ring of Honor, man. He's just a machine, you know? My God.
I was happy to see him win the title when he did.
Mm-hmm. And the promos he does is the best. Can't beat those. Those videos are great every time he makes a new video, you know? It just kept.
He's legendary.
He is. He's legendary, and I'm glad to have him on my podcast a long time ago. I had him. See, I got to have. It's like you know, you dig up the roots of your history of wrestlers. Like, yeah, these people, you actually know who they were, you know, and they're like, wow, man, you know, thank you for having me, you know. It's like you're my childhood, you know, superhero, growing up, wrestler, you know.
Right.
But you know what? I'm gonna let you go. What time is it right now?
It's 10:17 here.
I think I'm gonna call it a night because this podcast could go longer than we want. You know.
Hey, I've enjoyed talking to you.
We'll do this again. And I'll fix that audio problem. How's that?
It sounds good to me, man.
All right. Well, where can everybody reach? Well, actually, I have it right here on the screen, so I can just pull this up. Bam, go ahead. Tell your social media, because I have it right there as well. Where can everybody find you and buy some merch?
If you're looking for me on social media, at Gypsy King 91 on Twitter. Instagram, the same thing, at Gypsy King 91. Facebook, the Roma Miller. Check out Boot and Hill. You can find our merchandise there. Check out Storefronts here, Roma Miller. You can find my merchandise there.
And that's it. And that's a wrap.
All right, dude. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on. Have a good night, my friend.
You too, man.
Yep. Bye. I guess I could end that. All right, fans. You heard it here on the Deathmatch Wrestle podcast. My guest, Roma Miller, is ready to wrestle anyone and anybody, anytime, anywhere. Like I said before, West Coast, East Coast, Japan, UK. You know what, fans? He's in Georgia. He's everywhere. Check him out. Go say hello to him. Watch him wrestle. Support him. The future of wrestling. and much, much more, fans. He is Roman Miller. Give him a high five at a show, or give him the COVID fist pump, the social distance pump, and say hello to him, buy his merch, support him, and by the way, support bootandheel.com for all your wrestler and podcast, Deathmatch Russell podcast as well, merchandise brand as well. Get all your t-shirts, apparel, and it's the holiday seasons. Christmas is right around the corner. Get your loved one a t-shirt, a hoodie, a sweatshirt, ball cap, you name it, we got it. Boot and Heel takes care of you with all the products they have on there. And you know what? Support indie wrestling, support deathmatch wrestling, support professional wrestling. Fans, check it out. Deathmatch Wrestle on Boot and Heel. Just type in Deathmatch Wrestle podcast. Type in Boot and Heel. Type in Boot and Heel Roman Miller. And for all other guests, wrestlers, just type in. You'll see the list pull up as well. And much, much more. And everybody keeps on liking all my stuff as we're doing this podcast. And shout out to everybody for listening tonight. This was a great night of podcast. Even though the technical difficulties happen sometimes. Bear with us. And you know what? Tomorrow night, as I said, the hippie will be on Monday night. I'm going to call it, you know what? I'm going to call it Monday Night Hippie Hour. Monday Night Hippie Hour with the Monday Night Hippie Hour with the hippie life, hippie style throwback retro. I'm going to be talking to wrestler James Johnson on the podcast, and we're going to be talking to him about the hippie life and much, much more wrestling wise. Not only that, fans, let's get a little, not only that, but on Tuesday night, fans, we're going to go back to a little exotic youth, as I said, exotic youth. My guest is a member of the exotic youth. Cornelius Pepperbaum will be on my podcast at 8 p.m. as well. And fans, have a good night. I'm out of here. Night, everybody. Thank you for listening to the Deathmatch Wrestle podcast. Tune in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Good night, everybody.
You can find more Deathmatch Russell podcasts on the following social media. DeathmatchRussell.com. Follow on Twitter at DavidNJ32 and on Facebook. Facebook.com/DJDaveNJ32. Instagram at DavidNJ36. Hey, wrestling fans, I want to mention Collar and Elbow. Collar and Elbow was founded on traditional values of professional wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product intended to connect with people on an emotional level. A symbiotic relationship where one cannot flourish without the other. We strive to create a product that embodies our passion for professional wrestling expressed through street fashion. Visit collarandelbowbrand.com and use the promo code Deathmatch Russell Podcast and save 10% off when you make a purchase. Collar and Elbow, where wrestling passion meets street fashion. Me on Podcast City Network at podcastcity.net. Facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit the like button and share. And on Twitter at Podcast City Net. You can hear Deathmatch Russell Podcast on Stitcher Radio and on iTunes.